So he's the current undisputed lightweight world champion, considered to be one of, if not the best active boxer, pound for pound in the world. ESPN says so. Boxing Writers Association says so. The Ring says so. I say so. Everybody on this call says so. He's also ranked as the world best active lightweight by BoxRec, ESPN, TBRB. Here is Teofimo Lopez.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Thank you guys for all being here today. I appreciate each and every one of you guys and your questions.
So we're going to get to questions in just a sec. Teofimo, I just want to ask first for you, what does it mean for you to be on this Triller card, to be working with Triller?
Oh, it feels great. You know, being on something that's a different platform. I think that in reality, man, we're all collabing in a different way. We're going to have different artists and just being on a platform like this, it's going to be great. It's going to be I would say a great show. It's going to be the greatest show on this year, and I'm very excited. You know, June 19th is going to be one for everyone to tune in and watch. You know, I get to show everybody what I'm all about.
All right, I've got first up on the questions from Deporte Total USA, Jose Armando Rodriguez, and you may ask en español o inglés.
Thank you. It's going to be in Spanish, en español. Teofimo, muy buenas tardes. Quisiera preguntarte rápidamente, esta pelea en Miami, ¿tiene un sentimiento especial para ti por el hecho de que en Miami vive tanta gente hondureña que va a poder ir a verte ese 19 de junio? Y también quisiera preguntarte si vas a invitar a la pelea a Brian Flores, otro hondureño que es el head coach de los Miami Dolphins. Muchas gracias.
Sí, gracias, José. Que yo puedo decir es que, claro, tú sabes, vamos a tener todos los latinos y toda mi gente allá en Miami. Casi 13 años yo vivo, I lived in Miami. So, tú sabes, vamos a tener mucha gente, diferentes artistas como Maluma, J Balvin y cosas así. So, van a hacer un show de puros latinos. Y me siento muy orgulloso que no solo eso, pero que yo estoy ahora, mi primera pelea, después de la pelea contra Loma, yo voy a representar a todos mis latinos. Y van a ser un greatest showman type of theme.
All right, thanks very much, Jose. Next is Jeremy Rodriguez.
Hi, Teofimo. Thank you for taking the time to talk. I'm curious, you know, going into this fight with George Kambosos, looking at his previous fight against Lee Selby, I was curious that, you know, obviously it was very close on the scorecards. Did you think he won that fight?
To be honest, I don't look at who I'm facing, like in the way of watching film or anything like that. So I can't really say, you know, I heard it was a close fight. It was a close call. However, you know, George Kambosos, you know, he was the guy that got the win. He got the job done. You know, it became a mandatory. I mean, you know, a lot of folks, you know, just to get the record straight, there's a lot of things that I would like to clear up. You know, these guys had 4 months after I beat Lomachenko. They had 4 months, and I'm talking about the guys in my division. They had 4 months to send me a contract. Not one did. So this all ended up becoming George Kambosos at the end. This is not out of me. You know, I guess they expected me to throw contracts at them after becoming world champion and undisputed, you know, and I have all the belts, but, you know, and it's crazy, you know, a lot of folks don't see the behind the scenes of what really goes on in the sport of boxing. However, you know, I'm just trying to show everybody at the end of the day that I don't duck or dodge anybody, you know. So with Kambosos and everything, I'm not overlooking my competition. I'm just looking straight through, right through them. And that's really what it comes down to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
All right. Next up is Mark Wicker.
Hi, I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know how you felt about watching the fight the other night between Taylor and Ramirez. Your name has come up as a possibility for either or both, along with many other fighters who you get linked with. What do you think about that whole process, and what did you think about that fight and projecting yourself against one of those guys?
Thank you, Mark, for the question. Honestly, I would say I don't, man. I've been so focused on myself lately that I don't focus on the fights and the competition that's going around. You know, put them in front of me and I'll beat them. That's my whole thing, and that's what I live off of. You know, Josh Taylor did what he had to do. It was a great fight, great event, you know, top rank and everything that they did, and kudos to them. You know, the whole thing now is all about making those type of fights happen, and hopefully these guys are willing to step up. You know, it's at the end of the day, I don't, 16 fights in, I never said no to not one fight that was given to me. You know, I'm a man of my word at the end of the day, and I carry my balls very, very, very tight, when I go in that ring. So, hopefully these guys, they're already talking about moving up to 147 and everything. I can just sense the urgency of them not trying to want to fight me, So the whole thing is just one fight at a time. And, hopefully we can make those fights happen. 135, I'm undisputed. He's Josh Taylor's at 140 undisputed. We can make those fights happen. And Teofimo will become 2-time undisputed world champion back-to-back. It's the goal.
All right. Thanks so much. Next up is Donna Corby.
Teofimo, just to follow up on that, of course, your name was almost mentioned as much as Ramirez or Taylor's over the weekend in terms of with regards to that fight. Do you think 2021 is a realistic timeline for when that mega fight could happen? And would you be willing to perhaps, I know he has talked about doing a gigantic stadium event in Edinburgh, doing it at Edinburgh Castle or at Easter Road. Would you be willing to come to the UK to take on Josh Taylor?
Oh, no, not at all. I won't do it. I won't take the fight in the UK. Not because I don't believe that I will beat him in the UK. It's just the fact that I can just see how much of the animosity or just the way that folks are carrying that I'm not undisputed at 35. So I could just see the favoritism out there. That fight will be somewhere over here. And at the end of the day, man, I'm slowly becoming a cash cow in the division. These guys can make a better paycheck fighting me where I choose at the end of it. So, but I do eventually want to fight in the UK. That's something that I definitely want to go out there and do. However, I'm not going to give anybody the upper hand on me. I've done it numerous of times. So the whole thing now is just about playing my cards right and just making those fights happen, though.
All right. Up next is Carlos Toro from Toro Media.
Hey, Teofimo, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. When Triller won the purse bid for the fight against between you and Kambosos, I know you were very excited with the $6 million plus purse bid, but when it came to sort of working with Triller in the promotion of this fight and organizing the event altogether, what were sort of maybe your expectations with Triller being a relatively new platform for boxing, and how has it been working with Triller in comparison to your past fights?
It's with Triller and everything, they're new in the sport of boxing. I'll be honest with that part. However, they're doing a phenomenal job. Triller's doing a phenomenal job. They came in, they showed, and they want to show everyone come June 19th. They took away the Evander Holyfield fight and everything. They don't want to make it an exhibition or anything. They really want to make this an actual fight card, just like all the other promoters and networks that do in the sport of boxing already. So it goes to show that they're really driven and they have this. They're really driven and they really want this, to be a real thing for them. We could say I don't want to compare, and I'm not, and I'm not. However, it's somewhat of a DAZN thing right now going on, and eventually Triller is just trying to make that they want to make their mark, and I already see it. The things that I love about it the most is that with myself, how I think and these ideas that come up in mind, we could talk about these things and we could actually make these come out into fruition, so that is why we're having not only just, myself performing in my ring walk the way it's going to be come June 19th, but the artists that are going to be performing that night as well. It's phenomenal. It's a collaboration, and I think that it's great for the sport of boxing. This is all entertainment at the end of it all, and for all the fighters, they need to actually take that in. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a boxer. I'm an entertainer. And that's what brings the revenue.
Thanks, Teofimo.
Thank you, Carlos.
All right. Next up is Ernesto Amador.
¿Qué pasa, mi Teofimo? Con el gusto saludarte. Obviamente estás enfocado en esta pelea y en lo que significa pelear con Triller, pero eres un hombre de retos y tu padre también, el Nostradamus del boxeo. Es para ustedes también algo importante hacer historia y quedarte con todos los cinturones de las 140, porque hay posibilidades, Teofimo. Viendo las peleas que vemos en 140, no es imposible que pudieras conquistarlo.
No, sí, claro, es muy importante para mi carrera y todo que nosotros hacer cosas así, ganando en 140 y todos los títulos y todo, back to back, es muy importante. O sea, yo solo tengo 16 peleas, yo solo estoy 23 años, yo solo tengo 23 años y mira, yo estoy haciendo cosas grandes, gracias a Dios. Y que yo puedo decir ahora es que para toda mi gente, todos mis fans y y toda la gente que siempre está apoyando Teofimo. Mira mi pelea, junio 19, y eso van a ser un show espectacular. You know, it's all about entertaining, pero también tratando a bring boxing back to its roots, its original roots. Esa es la cosa que es más importante. Nosotros mira Canelo y Terence Crawford y que ellos buscan las peleas, ellos quieren las peleas más grandes. Ahora tenemos Errol Spence y Manny Pacquiao. So, para mí me siento que ya el deporte ya está subiendo más en diferentes, in different ways.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Ernesto.
Okay, next up is Jonathan Nagioff.
Hi, Teofimo. Thanks for taking time to speak to us. I just want to know, how do you think you've sort of progressed since the win over Lomachenko last October heading into this fight? And just wondered if you saw his comments the other day suggesting that he'd watched the fight a lot of times and felt there was a draw.
Oh, man, I could just laugh about it. That's all. For me, man, it's someone that never really took a loss, you know? It's someone that hasn't really taken a loss before, and especially a loss that I gave him the way I did and the way I beat him. With Lomachenko, he's in the past now. My thing is, at the end of the day, I took his heart. Even if we were to fight again, I'll knock him out this time. You know what I mean? And it's not just about talk about it. Fighting somebody in that caliber and that type of fighter that he was, and it's elevated me to a whole nother level. I told people in the beginning, starting this and doing all this, that you got to get me now, because you have a better chance fighting me now than later, and it's too late now for everybody. The amount of growth and knowledge and ring IQ and all these things that I've literally have been working on. It's I'm more amazed about it because it's like unlimited with myself, my skill sets. There's no limit to me. And it's the true thing. And I can't wait to express that and show everybody that on June 19th, why I'm working so hard and pushing myself to that next limit. It's because at the end, it's not about proving anybody wrong here, but it's about proving myself right, that I am the best in the world. I'm better than Canelo, Crawford, all those guys. And eventually, but that takes time. I'm 23. I know I'm reaching, but I like to reach. And eventually those things will come into fruition as long as I stay focused. And with Lomachenko, it's just somebody that took an ass whooping, and he just doesn't know how to handle it right.
Thanks, Teo.
Thank you.
All right, next up from Fight Hype is Nick Noonan.
Teofimo, fighthype.com here. How are you?
Like a champ, man. Like a champ, Nick.
Bro, I want to talk a little bit about the extension of the date now to June the 19th with maybe the crowd of 30,000. How do you feel now that the fight's going to be in front of 30,000 compared to the original crowd back on June the 6th, which was probably only going to be about 5,000, and the entertainment factor that you get to showcase your skills on such a big stage now?
Man, you guys don't even know, like, the ideas. Speaking with Ryan Calvino, and that guy is phenomenal to work with in that standpoint because of my ideas and how ridiculous they can be. But we make it look right, and I can't wait to show you guys my ring walk. These are things that I've been thinking about since the Loma fight. However, I couldn't be done. It couldn't have been done. But now 30,000 or 37,000 people in attendance. It's gonna be an open field for everybody, man. We're going to have a great time, man. And I haven't had that feeling. My personality and everything is all driven by the energy around. When I'm a showman, and I show off, and maybe I talk a lot of shit, right? We all could agree about it, but I back it up. There's a difference when you talk and you don't back it up. This is just someone that loves the sport, that's very driven. Winning all those belts and becoming undisputed didn't make me big-headed. It humbled me in another way. So my whole thing is just using this voice that I have now to let the other ones know, and the youth, let them know that no matter what you do, no matter how many things you win and how much money you do see, it's all about the main thing, and it's don't forget what you came from. Don't forget the struggles and all the hard work that you put yourself into. And I can't wait, man. 30,000, 37,000. We're going to have all different types on June 19th, which is Juneteenth Day. So we can't forget about Freedom Day. I mean, those things. So I think I didn't move the date. However, whatever happened that day, they moved it. All I could do is, as the fighter, just go out there and just perform for everyone else.
All right. Next up is the great Eddie Goldman.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that, Jerry. Hey, Teofimo. A question I have is, coming after such a high-profile fight where you were so up and you performed so well against Lomachenko, how are you going to stay motivated against a lesser-known fighter like Kambosos? And does fighting on Triller, your first time on Triller, add to that motivation for you to perform in this fight? Thanks.
Thank you, Eddie, for that question. Honestly, I'll say it like this. It's just the amount of work. It doesn't stop, At the end of the day, I'm not fighting George Kambosos. I'm fighting myself, and that's what I always go in there. When I fought Lomachenko, I wasn't fighting Lomachenko. I was fighting myself, and that's how I am. The only person that could beat me is myself. That's the end of it all. I'm my worst critic, and I am my toughest competition. So those are the things that I play in my mind. I act like I don't have it all, and that's why when people ask me how I feel like a champ. Doesn't mean even though I'm an undisputed world champion. And then being on the platform like Triller, they give me that opportunity to boost up my numbers on the social platform, because, that's nowadays in this modern day era, it's all about social media and how many followers you have, apparently, which kind of saddens me in a way that you could become undisputed world champion. But back then in the 80s and 90s, you became undisputed world champion. You were on top of the world. Now it's a different stage, So it's all about just catching up on the numbers as well on the social platform, and just putting myself out there even more. I think that I finally bursted out into that bubble of, this right here, this fight for me is bigger than the Lomachenko fight. And why I say that is because it puts me in a position now, my first pay-per-view fight, and the numbers that we are going to generate from, at only 23 years young, 16 fights in, just the whole way I look at it is the outcome of it all. It could put me from superstar to mega superstar, and become that it could bring me into that 9-figure status eventually. And those things take time, and I know that, but I know what it is, and I know what to bring for the fans and for everybody. I know what they want to see. When you see Teofimo, you never know what's going to happen. People want to see it. At the end of the day, people could talk about what they want to say and how they feel about me, but I go out there and I get the job done every time.
All right. Thank you. Good luck in the fight.
Thank you.
Next up is Mark Wicker.
Hi, Teofimo again. When you watched that fight, there was some controversy about the way Taylor's second knockdown came about in the break, and also whether the referee gave Ramirez too much time to get his head back in order. Taylor thought the fight should have ended there. As a boxer, when you saw that, what did you think?
Protect yourself at all times, even when you're in the clinches. Those are the things that you got to work on. Anything can happen. One punch could change a fight, and that's exactly what happened. You can't just expect the ref to help you in those situations. We've seen it with Floyd and Victor Ortiz. We've seen those things happen where you just gotta protect yourself at all times, man. And it was a sneaky shot from Taylor, and I'm sure they worked on it. They worked on those clinches in the inside, so they had a game plan when that came about. Hey, and all you could do from that point on is just you take that in and just realize that, hey, man, anything can happen. Just protect yourself at all times.
Thank you.
Next up, the equally great Rich Mancuso.
Hey, Tio, how are you, champ?
Doing great. Can't complain.
Thanks for having us this afternoon during your schedule and everything and how it is. Champ, how's training camp been going?
Training camp has been phenomenal. This is week 10. This is week 10 of camp, and this is 19 years in the gym, So for me, it's phenomenal, man. I've focused on trying to go back to the basics of everything, the 1, 2s, and 3s, and getting back to the fundamentals that started me. And since doing that, I've elevated into a whole nother fighter that I can't wait to show you guys. I'm just excited as everyone else is. I mean, I'm looking forward to June 19th.
Anything in particular you've been working on with this guy compared to what you did with Lomachenko, or is it going to be the same?
No. We're working on different tactics that I had some, some things that we had to take back in the drawing boards against the Lomachenko fight. Lomachenko is not a pushover. He's someone that definitely had a lot of dirty tricks that got away with and a lot of good tricks that he used. And those are the things that I was able to adapt on and take in. And now I'm just working on that in the gym, and the whole thing is all about just trying to perfect my craft more and more. I want to be, and not that I want to be, I am going to be the best boxer that ever laced a pair of gloves. A lot of us fighters say it and everything like that, but if you can see it, man, I'm going straight to everybody, straightforward. I'm a straight shooter, and that's the whole thing. And I guess, this is the type of way of the world now. They fake it till you make it type stuff, but Teofimo don't fake it, we take it. That's the difference, and that's why we call it a takeover. And for everybody that doesn't know that, June 19th, I can't wait. I'm putting this guy on a fucking stretcher. Sorry for my language, but I'm hitting him right all here. And this is what's going to go night-night for 3 to 5 minutes. And that's what I'm aiming for. I know all the pressure points and I know all the shots where to hurt somebody. I know to hit him here. I know to hit him here. I know to hit him here. I can hit him right in the thump of his forehead or right to the body. Either way, this guy's going down. And the reason why is because I got to let everybody know I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay. I ain't training. People think I'm just training for what, 3 rounds? No, I'm training for 12. I'm training for 15. However, when it comes to Saturday night, June 19th, I got to let the world know. When I fight this guy and I knock him out, I'm not just knocking out George Kambosos. I'm knocking out everyone that was talking shit about me.
Next up is Renato Bermudez.
Teofimo, ¿cómo estás? Saludos. ¿Todavía hay retos para ti en 135 libras? ¿Hay retos para mantenerte ahí o ya el próximo año quieres saltar a las 140?
Bueno, tú sabes, para mí es que ya 7 años en este peso de 135 peleando y ya yo estoy creciendo más, pero la cosa es que yo sé que contra un tipo como George Kambosos yo no puedo a subir a 140 con alguien como Kambosos. I can't move up. I have to fight. Yo necesito pelear con alguien como Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or Gervonta Davis before I move up to 140. So, claro, yo voy a pelear otra vez a 135 si Dios quiere. Y me siento muy fuerte. Hoy yo peso 145 hoy. So, yo tengo solo 10 libras de agua. Puro agua, y ya tenemos como 3 semanas, yo estoy en peso ahora y me siento muy, muy fuerte. Lo que yo puedo decir ahora es que this is like, to be real, man, this is the best I've ever felt. I feel better than I felt in the Comey fight.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
All right, next up is WCS.
What's going on, Teofimo Lopez on World Combat Sports? Good to see you, man, elevate and change levels in your career. I don't think I've ever seen a mandatory be promoted like Triller has done for you. How has it been for you being a part of Triller? Totally, your branding has went up tremendously. How's that whole process been, man?
Man, it's phenomenal, man. Teamwork makes the dream work, and right now we have with Triller a collaboration that they're making it work, man. I think they see the potential, and that's why they put the amount of money that they did in this fight. They see the potential and the type of stardom of a fighter I am. I think we all see it. However, some just trying to stop Teofimo and keep him at this level, when in reality there is no level. And I'm very thankful for Triller, man. It may be unorthodox, however, it's what we need in the sport. It's what we need. We need some excitement. UFC is doing a phenomenal job, but what's up with boxing? We can't make these great fights happen because of these promoters and because of alter egos and because of pride. Pride is a devil, man. And these guys don't want to make these fights happen because of X, Y, and Z. They want to keep it at a certain pace. Boxing ain't like that no more. Boxing has changed. This is the new modern day era. And my whole thing is, even if I get stuff for it, I'm gonna be real, man. I'm always gonna be honest with everybody in the public, man. These guys, maybe the fighters do want to fight each other. However, it's just those in the middle, the middlemen. They get involved and they don't want to make those things happen. And but I'm very thankful that I'm able to showcase what I could do. And you know, June 19th, man. I'm very thankful, man. We're gonna have J-Lo, Maluma, J Balvin, Meek Mill. You know, the Greatest Showman is gonna be right here. You know, it's a whole theme, man, and it's gonna be phenomenal, man. And I can't wait for the way that it's all gonna play out come June 19th.
Your press conference with George Kambosos. How was your true raw energy with him? You know, you all set the tone for this year with the energy and promoting yourselves, and it seems like y'all genuine don't like each other. How was your level 1 through 10 on facing Kambosos on that stage, and you and him going at it like you did?
Look, man, I'm gonna pray for the man. I'm gonna pray for the man before the fight. You know, so because he has a kid on the way and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm leaving him on a fucking stretcher. And it's just how I feel, man. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. I get paid for doing what I do. It's either him or me. You know, and that's how I feel, man. Ain't nobody acting here. Nobody. You know what I mean? It's just a thing. I ain't trying to promote a fight in a way of trying to start no beef. You know, the whole thing is I'll do what I got to do in the ring, you know, with these right here. And they feel that pressure. They feel that energy. You know, it's all about my energy, man. Real recognizes real. And I've been told everybody that. Lomachenko, he felt that. Anybody that comes in front of me, I'll beat him. Why? Because they know. I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared to die in that ring neither. I ain't scared to die. At least I died doing what I love too. But at the end of the day, man, it's all about who's in front of me. Got to get him in the way. I got to get him out the way. So that way we can focus on the other fights that everybody wants to watch.
All right. Next up, Dylan Boker.
Hey there, Teofimo. Appreciate the time.
Hey, thank you, Dylan.
I was just noticing the Instagram post from earlier on in the month where you were shouting out Ray Boom Boom Mancini becoming WBA lightweight champion of the world. I'm kind of curious, just with you on this individual journey, carving out your own legacy as champion, like how important is it to also, you know, be mindful and appreciative of that history there? Because you seem like a real aficionado and sweet science, you know, aficionado.
I'll be honest, like, I look up to all those guys. They all paved the way for all of us. I mean, we're all here today, and why we still love the sport of boxing is because we think about those old times too. You know, and I guess a lot of us probably would love to go back in time and just enjoy it a little bit more. You know, the game has changed. You know, people want to make X amount of dollars without facing the tough competition. You know, and it's ridiculous. And you know, I look at it like this, man. When winning all those belts, I visioned it, I felt it, and I already had dreamt it over the years. You know, our goal is always to become, you know, undisputed world champion or world champion. I got to that. But winning the Ring magazine, and when I received it in the mail, I cried. I cried. Why? Because I know the background to it all. It's been in the game since 1922. Jack Dempsey has worn it, and so many other great champions have held that belt. So I know how the honor of carrying that belt is to me. I appreciate the sport. I love I love boxing. I really do. And it breaks my heart to see how these corrupted middlemen just get involved and they think that it's okay for them to try to take all the pie, you know, and we're over there risking our lives. But, you know, get away from the political part. My whole thing is that I just know that the boxing gods are right behind me, man, and they support it. You know, that's why I always give acknowledgement to Boo Boo Mancini. We got Larry Holmes. We have Rocky Marciano, Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, the list could go on and on. All the great champions that have paved the way for me and have paved the way for all of us.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, Josh Katzowitz.
Hey, Teofimo. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, my man.
Good. Because Triller paid so much money for the fight, I just wonder if you feel a sense of pressure fighting on pay-per-view, especially because there's a Showtime fight that night, the Zone fight, an ESPN Plus fight, Chavez Sr. and Jr. fight on pay-per-view that night. There's just so much boxing going on that night. I wonder if you feel that sense of pressure, like, oh, I gotta get people to watch my fight because Triller paid so much money for it.
No pressure at all. No pressure at all, man. I'm an exciting fighter. I guess there's something that draws everyone to. My man Mark is sleeping, but you know, the whole thing is this. You know, it's all about just entertainment. You know, a lot of people want to see what I could do next. I know a lot of folks probably like, I ain't gonna watch that fight because he's fighting George Kambosos, but in reality, they will. They all will tune in. You know, I'm the upcoming fighter that's sparking the industry a little bit. I shook the world. I shook the boxing industry too. And I think in reality, excuse my language, but I fucked everybody's money up. So, you know, the whole thing is all about keeping that up, man, and just changing it. This is the takeover. I don't know what else I could tell everyone is that this is the takeover. You know, we're taking over in a way of bringing boxing to where its original roots. And it may be hard, but my whole thing is about the new generation. For myself, keep winning. And that's the only way these kids will listen. If I keep winning and when I keep winning, that they'll listen to my words and my advice, that they could just be themselves and don't have to fake it till they make it. They could just go out there and just deal with the process. My whole thing is just using this voice now, man. I want to leave, when I leave boxing, man, I want to leave it in good hands. I want to leave it into the next hands of someone that's going to take care of it for a long time. You know, and that's all it's about, man. It's all about giving back. All these guys, all these fighters, man, I'm kind of disappointed in all of them. They all want to take, but they don't want to give back or the knowledge. I mean, they don't even talk to us about financial advisors and all this stuff. We don't even have fucking health insurance. You know, there's so many things that's wrong in the sport of boxing right now. And my thing is thank you to Triller and thank you to Triller Fight Club and everybody that's playing a part of this, man. We're going to change the sport of boxing in a whole nother way. We're going to bring it back in a way that it's going to be a lifelong time.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, Brendan Tobin.
Hey, Teofimo. I'm excited to have you down here for your upcoming fight. I'm wondering if you have any sense of, kind of full circleness, boxing down here in Davie when you were a young man, just the idea that you are getting to defend your undisputed championship in a city that you crafted a lot of your tools in at a young age.
I'm, going back in this, man. I started boxing in Florida. And Davie Powell and in Davie, Florida and all that, that's when I really started. My father had me in Gleason's and Red Hook and all that when I was like 2-3 years old up in New York. But, that's when I really started my amateur career and everything, at the age of 6. Gave blood to the sport literally right away. I had a double M bag. I had 37 stitches right away, and I think I did a sacrifice in a way. But in reality, man, I believe that everything happens for a reason. I live off that. And I attract it, man. The law of attraction is real, man. The universe, all that stuff, I could get into a hippie type of thing. But in reality, man, it's all about giving back to everybody and to the youth. That's all I don't do this for. Look, man, I do this for my family and everything. Yes. Going back in Florida, I've lived in Florida for 13 years, so it's great. Who would have known my first professional fight, in Miami would be defending my undisputed world title. That's amazing. And I'm only 23, man, and life is great, man. It's all about just not quitting. There's times where it's hard, but I know in the back of my head, man, I just tell myself that, hey, I'm where I need to be now, but I know in the future, as long as I don't give up, man, I'll be somewhere that I'll need to be as a legendary. My whole thing is about the legacy, the glory. All these fighters are trying to wear $200,000 chains and they only make $100,000 or $150,000, so it's all about moving your money right, investing it, being smart with it, and creating that where if I go out there and I want to fight, I'm fighting because I want to, not because I need to, not because I need a new check. I need a paycheck, and I learned that. I learned that in 2018 when I broke my hand. It's just things and trials and tribulations that I just go through, and it's adversity. People want to fight dirty and give me a cut in my eye, and I'm like, come on, let's go. And they back out, they back down. It goes to show, man, at the end of the day, I don't care. I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior, but at the end of it all, man, I'm just someone that has no fear in there. And I think they all feel it, man. All these fighters, they all feel it. Crawford, Taylor's, all of them guys, they all gonna feel it. Eventually, when my body is fit enough to go up to 147, those guys will get the work too. At the moment right now, it's at 35. Slowly but surely, I'll move up little by little, and these guys will feel it. Ain't nobody scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody.
Up next, Cynthia Conte, Ring TV.
Hi, Teofimo. Cynthia Conte from Ring TV, Ring Magazine. You slightly touched upon when you got the Ring Magazine belt. I know you and your father obviously are very close. You're a team. Talk about the conversation that you guys had when you got that ring belt, and because I know how much it means to you, that coveted belt.
It's the most prestigious belt. There's no sanctioning fee on it either. It's just an actual true legacy. It's a legendary belt. So many champions have carried it throughout the years. So many greats, so many legends, so many goats. And for my father and I, man, I just hugged him, showed him on FaceTime, because during that time I was living in another state, and I got to show him the whole thing. I'm like, look what we just did. We're someone that loves the sport. We truly love it. And I'm not saying none of these fighters do, but sometimes folks just do it for the wrong reasons, and that's because they want the money. But when you focus on the glory, the money comes. When you chase the money, it will always run faster. Winning the Ring magazine, man, it brought tears to it brought tears. It made me show. That's when I felt it. To be honest with all you guys, that's when I really felt the undisputed feeling. Not there at that moment because of certain people turning their backs on us and not celebrating with us. But it was at home when I carried that belt that I have it here with me too. So it's all about just seeing that and just letting me know that, hey, I came a long way. I just a short period of time. I'm only 16 fights in, man. These guys are already at their 20 plus fights, So a lot of folks kind of need to take that in a little bit more.
Well, thank you. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank Teofimo for taking time today, and thank everyone for taking time to be on the call. Teofimo has one more thing to say.
I got one more thing to say. Everybody tune in June 19th. It's a takeover, but the whole thing, it's all about we need change in the sport. And I've learned that throughout the years. We need change in a better way. We need Floyd, he set the tone in a way that he did. However, it was his way. Nobody can ever be Floyd Mayweather. Nobody can ever be Canelo. Nobody can ever be Teofimo. Just be you and be who you are at the end of it all. Don't copy nobody. Just be authentic. Be yourself. And if nobody loves that, then F them. At the end of the day, F them. Who cares? Just keep focused and keep yourself aligned. Always keep yourself strong and just focus on yourself. At the end of the day, man, I just want everybody to know that, yeah, I may be one person in that ring. I may not be humble in that ring. I'm a whole different person outside. Just want to let everybody know, man, it's all about giving back to everybody. And the amount of money that I'm going to be receiving this fight and so on and so forth, I think everybody will get to see the potential of what I really want to do. It's about giving back to the youth, and they need that. They need that hope, and they need that faith. They need to know that they belong in this world. There's too many people closed up in shelters. Too much in their mind, and they think that they're not worthy of something because they see what they see on social media. It's toxic. It's toxic as hell, to be honest. But man, I just want to put out a good. I want to put out a good message for everybody, not just in the ring, but outside as a person. Because at the end of it all, that's all we are. We're human. We're human beings, man. Ain't nobody special. I'm only special in the ring. We all bleed the same, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you all. It's a dream come true. In reality, it is. It's a dream come true, and thank you all, man, from the love to the hate to the support. Just for you guys being here and giving me your time and actually asking me questions and really want to know about what I gotta say. It means a lot to me, and I won't ever forget that. So thank you all again. I hope you guys all have a blessed week and a great time, man. And Teofimo, man, the takeover. Thank you.